will we be able to hear David?
Okay, I think so. Okay, we'll start with our prayer. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya avirāvirmayedhi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhireditam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhurida Janaha. Let we be protected, let we be nourished. Let we strive with energy and vigor. Let our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. Your nectar-like words and warm and inspiring life stories are indeed eradicator of shoots of ignorance. These are eulogized by the learned sages. These are auspicious to hear and propitious to inculcate in one's own life. Those who take these words to the world are indeed great benefactor of the world. We are studying the life of Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi. For a sadhaka, sadhaka means aspirant, it is very important to have build character. We find in Yoga Sutra, Patanjali, Maharshi Patanjali enumerated two important pillars of spiritual life. The first is yama. Yama means what is to be controlled. And niyama, that means what is how to be channelized. You see, water flows by. But what we do, we make a dam and we channelize that water through canals. So what happens? We accumulate water and then we properly channelize it. This way we generate electricity. Also, the water is diverted to various fields for irrigation. What is the point? Point is, similarly, we have lots of energy lurking within us. We have enormous possibilities. Only it should not be wasted. Rather, it should be first accumulated and then channelized. So Maharshi Patanjali says, first yama. 5 important characters. What are those? Satya, speaking truth and cultivating truth, behaving truthfully. Satya, ahimsa. Ahimsa means not harboring any malice or hatred for anyone. If you are a policeman, that's your duty that you have to do. Like Arjuna went to battlefield, there he had to fight for righteous cause. So that is his duty. Similarly, if one of us is a protector of orderliness, then one has to fight. That's a different issue, but without malice. So this is ahimsa, satya ahimsa. Then brahmacharya, that means continence. So that to accumulate energy. For grihasthas, some relaxation is given, but not for others. Satya ahimsa, brahmacharya. Then asteya, non-stealing. If someone steals, then what happens? He is always afraid of the law abiding officers or people, even people. He is afraid of all. And then ahimsa, asteya aparigraha, not to accept any gifts. So these are the rules. This is to be performed to build a character. Why character? Building a character is very important. All our spiritual achievement depends on our character. So anyway, I will come to that. Satya, ahimsa, brahmacharya, asteya, aparigraha. These 5 basic principles, universal principles. Then shaucha, santosha. Shaucha means cleanliness, mental cleanliness, physical cleanliness, even spiritual cleanliness. Shaucha, santosh. Santosha means to have satisfaction. That means contentment. Santosh, whatever is there, you are happy. So you are not hankering for too much. So this is to accumulate one's energy. It is not to dissipate, to earn, say, more and more, and people accumulate. Not for that. Whatever is essential for living, that much is allowed. So shaucha, santosh. Then tapaha, swadhyaya, ishwar pranidhan. Tapa means striving to try to achieve something, like we are to do japa, etc. And we have to strive. Tapaha, swadhyaya, upgrading one's knowledge, studying good books, and ishwar pranidhan, and depending on God. So these are essential characteristics. Now one point comes. How we know that we are progressing in our spiritual life? We have to watch ourselves. If we are following principles, if we are building our characters, then what will happen? You'll feel strong within. You'll feel strength within. And purification will come. And that purification is the indicator of your spiritual achievement. In Bhagavad Gita, there are 26 characters that has been enumerated. Abhayam, Satta Samshuddhi. Abhaya means fearlessness. Fearlessness. That means to have confidence. A thief is never confident. He's always afraid. But a righteous person is always fearless. Abhayam, Satta Samshuddhi. Satta Samshuddhi, what is that? purification of our mental element. Purification of our mental element. So, purity of heart. Then steadfastness. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. And organizing and orienting oneself to God. So, yeah, Gunamai, yeah, mute yourself. Yoga, then alms giving, danam. Danam damascha means you are to help others, so that when they thrive, you'll also thrive, and to do some good work. All these 26 characters. I'm not enumerating the whole thing, otherwise that will be a big discourse, that one. I'll read a little from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, so we'll know what it is like. Sri Ramakrishna says, let me ask you one thing. Are vanity and egotism the result of knowledge or of ignorance? Egotism is of the nature of tamas. Tamas means darkness. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. It is begotten by ignorance. On account of the barrier of ego, one does not see God. Only one thinks what is good for me, good for the person, not what is the greater reality. All troubles come to an end when the ego dies. In this Bengali, Ami mole guchibe janjal. That means the all rubbish will be left out when this ego dies. It is futile to be egoistic. Neither body nor wealth will last. One say, okay. So I say to you all, you may be a judge or anything else, but it is all for 2 days only. Therefore, you should give up vanity and pride. So, what is the point? Point is, we are to cultivate sattvic qualities, the qualities that are helpful for our spiritual life. If those qualities are increasing in our lives, then we are progressing in our spiritual life. It is not that we'll grow 2 horns and a long tail. It is the compassion, it is the truthfulness, it is simplicity, steadfastness. All these qualities are divine qualities. Devi, Hesha, Gudana. So these are divine qualities, and we all are endowed with these divine qualities. Bhagavan says in 16th chapter of Gita that, O Arjuna, you are endowed with Devi qualities. Therefore, you strengthen them and nothing to worry about. So what we have to do, we have to strengthen them. And this, whatever we are studying, it is to cultivate these qualities. As we can see in the life of Holy Mother, these qualities are in abundance. Compassion. Mother is compassion herself. Truthfulness. Mother is truthful herself. Purity of character. Holy Mother used to pray to God, oh God, even moon has some blemish, but in my character there should not be any blemish. Just imagine. What a wonderful prayer. And her life was like that. Purity herself. Pavitram charitam yasya pavitram jivanam tatha. Her character was pure. Her life was pure. And the whole purity manifested, as it were, in Sri Sarada Devi. So, with this introduction, let us concentrate on her life by studying life. We inculcate those qualities. It is like this. Whatever you bring in front of a mirror will reflect it. The mirror will reflect whatever is brought in front of it. Crystal, if you bring a red rose in front of a crystal, then it will reflect redness. Similarly, whatever we think, our thoughts are strengthened. And when thoughts are strengthened, in course of time, we also try to imbibe. We try to inculcate those characters. That is why we are studying the life of Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi. So with this, we'll start. David, say page number.
The page number is 124, and it's Ramakrishna's childlike nature.
Good. Go ahead. Sri Ramakrishna's childlike nature. Yes.
When the master was staying at Dakshineshwar, Rakal, Swami Brahmananda, and other devotees were very young. One day, Rakal came to the master and said that he was very hungry. The master went to the Ganges and cried out, "O Gauradasi, come here. My Rakal is hungry." At that time, there was no refreshment stall at Dakshineshwar. A little later, a boat was seen coming up the Ganges. It anchored at the temple ghat. Balaram Babu, Gauradasi, and some other devotees got off the boat with some rasagolas, sweet cheese balls.
So Balaram Babu means Balaram Basu, Sri Ramakrishna's householder devotee, and Gauradasi later became a nun, a Gaurima. Yes.
The master was very happy and shouted for Rakal. He said, "Come here. Here are sweets. You said you were hungry." Rakal became angry and remarked, "Why are you broadcasting my hunger?" The master said, "What is the harm? You are hungry. You want something to eat. What is wrong in speaking about it?" The master had a childlike nature.
Like as we grow in our culture, what happens? The simplicity is put under the carpet, and we make show. But Sri Ramakrishna was not like that. Sri Ramakrishna's character was like a child, not childlike, not childish, childlike. Children are very simple, and even they will not hide anything. Whatever they see, they will speak in plain terms. We try to hide lots of things, In First World War, when the fighting condition was very bad, so soldiers used to become tired. So the term came shell-shocked. Then later, the same word, because it is war fatigue. When similar situation, and gradually this we find new words to express the same thing. And later, now what is there? Same condition, because soldiers fight against all odds. So same thing is now called PTSD. So we try to hide with the flowery words, but those who are simple, they don't bother about it. Simple. So similar examples can be given. Anyway, we'll go ahead.
Rakal's parents. To please Rakal's father, The master would say, "A good apple tree begets only good apples." When Rakhal's father came to Dakshineshwar, the master would carefully feed him delicious things. The master was afraid that he would take the boy away. When Rakhal's stepmother came to Dakshineshwar, the master used to tell Rakhal, "Show her everything. Take good care of her so that she will think her son loves her dearly."
So respect your parents. So this way, mother also will be happy. Though stepmother, so she'll not harbor any malice. So this way, Sri Ramakrishna would behave, but simple, very simple. Okay.
The red flower. Once at Dakshineshwar, a girl named Asha picked a beautiful red flower from a bush that had very dark leaves. As she held the flower, she wept and kept saying, "What is this? Why should such a lovely red flower have such dark leaves? O Lord, how strange is your creation." When the master saw her crying, he asked, "What is the matter? Why are you weeping?" She was quite unable to explain, but continued to cry until the master comforted her with many words. The master's appreciation. One day, I made a big garland of 7 strands with some jasmine and red flowers, rangan or ixora. I soaked the garland in water in a stone bowl, and the buds quickly turned into full blossoms. I then sent the garland to the Kali temple to adorn the image of the Divine Mother. The ornaments were taken off Kali's body, and she was decorated with the garland. The master came to the temple. He at once fell into an ecstatic mood, seeing the beauty of Kali, so enhanced by the flowers. Again and again he said, "Ah, these flowers are nicely set off against the dark complexion of the Divine Mother. Who made the garland?" Someone mentioned me. He said, "Go and bring her to the temple." As I came near the steps, I found some of the men devotees there, Balaram Babu, Suren Babu, and others. I felt extremely shy and was anxious to hide. I took shelter behind the maid Brinda and was about to go up to the temple by the back steps. The master noticed this and called out, "Don't use those steps. The other day, a fisherwoman was climbing those steps and slipped. She had a terrible accident and fractured her bones. Come by these front steps." The devotees heard these words and made room for me. I entered the temple and found the master singing, his voice trembling with love and devotion.
So here, it's a first example was given, the red flower with dark leaves. But Mother, Holy Mother, Sri Sarada Devi made that garland. And that garland was used to decorate the Divine Mother. So complexion of Divine Mother is black. So it was looking very nice. So as you know, so it has a meaning. That means whatever is bright, it requires the background also. Then only it comes well. The decoration, especially those artists, they know the contrasting colors. So Holy Mother made that the rangan is in ixora, like there is a bunch of flowers together. So with that, Mother made the garland. Yes. Here that flower is not available, but if you go to Hawaii or tropical countries, then you can see them. Yeah.
The master's compassion. One day, a woman who had been a man's mistress came to the master and said with repentance, "That man ruined me. Then he robbed me of my money and jewelry." The master was aware of the innermost contents of people's minds, but still he wanted to hear everything from their lips. He said to the woman, "Is it true?" But he used to give us grand talks about devotion. In the end, the woman confessed to him all her sins and was thus released from their evil effects.
You know, once I think Joginma told Mother, you see, all children of Thakur is so good. They are all jewels. So mother said, he was very choosy. Sri Ramakrishna would examine each one of the disciples, especially younger one, and he would accept as disciple, choosing them, like they should be good, not that they should be moneyed or socially from high class, not that, but they should be pure in heart. But then mother said, but Thakur gave me all children. So mother, mother cannot deny anyone. So that's the beauty of mother. So Thakur used to, weigh the hands, how one is, whether one is steadfast or clever, or what kind of person one is. But mother used to accept all without any discrimination. So, yes, go ahead.
God and mammon.
So Sri Ramakrishna's compassion, similarly, mother gave so much, even many public women also came and mother gave shelter. Anyway, go ahead.
What is there in money, my child? The master could not touch it. His hand would recoil from it. He said to Ramlal, this world is illusory. Had I known it to be otherwise, I would have covered your Karmapukar village with leaves of gold. But I know the world is impermanent. God alone is real.
So this is reality. God alone is real. All other things are for 2 days. And those 2 days, a few days, whatever we are to live in this world, it should be dedicated to God. Yes.
A ghost story. One day, the master went to Benny Paul's garden house in Sinthi with Rakal. He was strolling in the garden when a spirit came to him and said, why did you come here? We are being scorched. We cannot endure your presence. Leave this place at once. How could it stand his purity and blazing holiness? The master walked away with a smile and did not tell anyone about the incident.
So here, holiness, some people cannot tolerate holiness. First, it is very difficult to recognize what is holiness, and then to come closer to that holiness, and then gradually one has to cultivate those characters. Yes.
Immediately after supper, he asked someone to call for a carriage, though it had been previously arranged that he would spend the night there. A carriage was brought, and he returned to Dakshineshwar that very night. When I heard the sound of the carriage near the gate, I strained my ears and heard the master speaking with Rakal. I was startled. I thought, I do not know if he's taken his supper. If not, where can I get food at this late hour? I always kept something in store for him, at least farina. He sometimes asked for food at odd hours, but I was quite sure he was not coming back that night, and so my store was empty. All the gates of the temple garden were barred and locked. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. He clapped his hands and began to repeat the names of God, and after a while someone opened the gate. Meanwhile, I was anxiously thinking about what to do in case he was hungry. As he came in, he shouted to me, don't be anxious about my food. I've finished my supper.
See, another thing is very practical. And once it happened that Rakhal Maharaj and Sri Ramakrishna and some other devotees went to Calcutta, and they were not calling for supper. So Rakhal Maharaj said, let us go back. They are disrespectful to us. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, Rosh, that means stop. You cannot have just a adamantine, like you should not be adamant. Rather, you have to be practical. If we go back now, who will give us food at Dakshineshwar? So it is better to have whatever will come to us. So there was no pride, and most practical. It is not to give trouble to others. Sometimes because of our pride, what we do, we give trouble to others. So that we have to learn this. Okay.
Then he narrated to Rakhal the story of the ghost. Rakhal was startled and said, "Dear me, it was really wise of you not to have told me about it at that time. Otherwise, my teeth would have been set on edge through fear. Even now, I'm seized with fear." The photograph of Ramakrishna. Several prints were made of the master's first photograph in the shrine pose. The Brahmin cook took one of them. The first picture was very dark, just like the image of Kali, so it was given to the Brahmin. When he left Dakshineshwar for some place, I do not remember where, he gave it to me. I kept the photograph with the pictures of other gods and goddesses and worshipped it. At that time, I lived on the ground floor of the Nahabat. One day the master came there, and at the sight of the picture he said, "Hello, what is all this?" Lakshmi and I had been cooking under the staircase. Then I saw the master take in his hand the bell leaves and flowers kept there for worship and offer them to the photograph. He worshipped the picture. This is the same picture. That Brahmin never returned, so the picture remained with me.
So Sri Ramakrishna worshipped his own image to certify that this is a great image for sadhakas. Apuni korile apnar puja, apnar stutigan. That means you worshipped your own image and even you praised yourself. Because, otherwise human being cannot understand the immensity and the apnar puja, apnar stutigan. That means you worshipped your own image and even you praised yourself. Because, otherwise human being cannot understand what is happening. The immensity and the apnar stutigan. That means you worshipped your own image and even you praised yourself. Because, otherwise human being cannot understand what is happening. The immensity and the apnar stutigan. That means you worshipped your own image and yourself. Because, can you hear me?
Yes, Swami.
Okay.
We heard you repeat what you had said, though.
Oh, actually, now what happened? Two screens were opened. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Swami, was that's so he worshipped the same photograph that we worship?
Correct. And he said also that this photograph, when this photograph was taken, I was in a very high state. This same photograph. So he was in a very high state of samadhi. Yes, go ahead.
And is that photograph that mother owned, that particular print? Where is that particular print now?
It's very difficult to say. When Chetananandji come next time, you can ask him.
Swami, it says this picture is now in the shrine of Holy Mother's house, Bodhan, Calcutta.
What is written there?
On bottom of page 126.
Okay, read it. I think that is there.
Oh, yes, it does say in the footnote.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. This picture now in the shrine of Holy Mother's house, Udbodhan. Yes. Go ahead.
What did the master look like? His complexion was like gold, like harital, a yellow mineral. It blended with the color of the gold amulet that he wore on his arm. When I rubbed him with oil, I could clearly see a luster coming out of his body. People looked at him wonderstruck when he went with slow, steady steps to the Ganges to take his bath. When he came out of his room at the temple, people stood in line and said to one another, "Ah, there he goes." This also happened at Karmapurkur. Men and women looked at him with mouths agape whenever he chanced to come out of his house. One day he went for a walk in the direction of the canal known as Bhutir Kal. The women who had gone there to fetch water stared at him and said, "There goes the master." The master was annoyed and said to Hriday, "Well, Hridu, please put a veil over my head at once." The master was fairly stout. Mathur Babu had given him a low wooden seat on which to sit. It was rather wide, but it was not quite big enough to hold him comfortably when he sat cross-legged on it to eat his meals. I never saw the master sad. He was joyous in the company of everyone, whether a boy of 5 or an old man. I never saw him morose, my child. Ah, what happy days those were.
Yeah, a few things. One is his color, luster of body was very fair. And he was about 6 feet. How we know? Because his shirt is still there. And based on that shirt, our Swamis calculated. So another thing that during his sadhana, though he underwent very strict sadhana, but luster of his body was very special. People used to stare at him. So Sri Ramakrishna prayed to mother, "Oh mother, bhitore dhuke ja, get inside." So that people of ordinary mind will not be attracted. Only those who are higher, only they will come. So, "Oh mother, enter within," like that. Bhitore dhuke ja. So that's one thing. And Thakur was very simple, like child. And he was happy with all circumstances, with all people. That's why, he would cut jokes with Latu, Harish, and other young devotees. At the same time, Mathur Babu also would be offering pranams to him, who is the caretaker of the temple and son-in-law of Rani Rashmani. So the point is, he was easy with everyone. And because of his childlike nature, everybody loved him. Yes. Go ahead.
So the master was very tall. I mean, relative
Yeah.
to others around him, because most people in
Another
those days
thing,
were shorter.
this also kept on changing also. This is another feature. When he was practicing Madhur Bhav, then he became like women. And different time, people would see him in different way. So sometimes very tall, like lion. Sometimes like, it kept on changing. Another feature, very remarkable feature, is his right hand. You can see right hand. It's longer than ordinary. If you compare both the hands, the right hand is longer. So this is a sign and symptom of an incarnation. You can see here, right hand side.
It looks very large.
It would touch the knee. Yeah. Ajanu Lambita Bahu. Ramachandra also had like that. So all incarnations would have like that. And you can see it, that's a very other, you may say, oh, it may not be real, but you can see here.
The photo by the door of Swamiji has very long arms.
Vivekananda, no, his arms were similar. But
Just a photo.
no photo maybe. But here Sri Ramakrishna had that. So clear, you can see it. Yes, go ahead.
Ramakrishna's renunciation. Once there was a mistake in the accounts relating to the master's salary. I asked him to talk to the manager of the temple about it, but he said, "What a shame. Shall I bother myself about accounts?" Once he said to me, "He who utters the name of God never suffers from any misery. You don't need to worry about it." These are his very words. Renunciation was his ornament.
See, like that. Once it was discussed to mother. Sri Ramakrishna came to harmonize all religions. Then mother said, the theme of his life was renunciation and sacrifice. Only this harmony of religion it's a byproduct. But his main theme of life is sacrifice and renunciation. Even see like this, people would be angry. Oh, you have not given me my salary. But Sri Ramakrishna said, right, not to bother. And later they corrected it. Anyway, go ahead.
You will gain everything if you but take refuge in the Master. Renunciation alone was his splendor. We utter his name and eat and enjoy things because he renounced all. People think that his devotees also must be very great, as he was a man of such complete renunciation. Ah,
Yeah,
me.
see, this is another character. If renunciation is coming to our character, then we are true children of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother. Sacrifice. These are generally, it is very difficult to understand. You'll ask, if my employee does not give me money, should we not protest? Yes, you can tell. But Sri Ramakrishna was an example. He set the example. So renunciation is one of the things. So if we are cultivating, if we have some qualities which Sri Ramakrishna had, then we are on right track. Yes. Go ahead.
Ah, me. One day he came to my room in the Nahabat. He had no spices in his small bag. He used to chew them now and then. I gave him some to chew there and also handed to him a small amount packed in paper to take to his room. He then left, but instead of going to his room, he went straight to the embankment of the Ganges. He did not see the way, nor was he conscious of it. He kept repeating, "Mother, shall I drown myself?" I became restless with agony. The river was full to the brim. I was then a young woman and would not leave my room, and I could not see anyone around. Whom could I send to him? At last I found a Brahmin belonging to the Kali temple coming in the direction of my room. Through him I called Hriday, who was then eating his meal. He left his plate, ran to the master, caught hold of him, and brought him back to his room. A moment more and he would have fallen into the Ganges.
You see, this is another thing you won't understand. So mother, at the time of when she was very young, she would not go to public. Always hide. And she was very bashful. So in West, it is difficult to understand how it looks like. But still, in Indian villages, you can find that similar bashful ladies. They would not go to public place, even to call, like they will not meet even husbands in presence of others. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Because I put some spices in his hand, he could not find his way. A holy man must not lay things by. His renunciation was 100%.
Hmm.
Once,
Similar thing happened when he was bringing some medicine from that what Malik. Malik, who was very close, I think Jaddu Malik or
Yes, Jadu Malik.
yeah. So he was bringing some medicine, but he could not find his way. So then he threw that medicine. I said, okay, here is your medicine. I don't want. Then only he could come back. Yeah.
Once a Vaishnava monk came to the Panchavati. At first, he showed a great deal of renunciation. But alas, like a rat, he began to gather various things: pots, cups, jars, grain, rice, pulses, and so forth. The master noticed this and one day said, "Poor thing, this time he's going to be ruined." He was about to be entangled in the snare of Maya. The master advised him strongly about renunciation and further asked him to leave the place. Then he went away. The master's love for his devotees. Once Balaram's wife was ill. The master said to me, "Go to Calcutta and visit her." "How can I go?" I said. "I don't see any carriage or other conveyance here." The master replied in an excited voice, "What? Balaram's family is in such trouble and you hesitate to go? You will walk to Calcutta. Go on foot." At last the palanquin was brought and I set out from Dakshineshwar. Twice I visited her during her illness. On another occasion, I went on foot at night from Shampukur.
So, this is a very nice example. Once it happened that Holy Mother brought food to Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna was in spiritual mood, and he thought it is Lakshmi Didi. So he said, close the door while going. That's in Bengali, we have 3 layers of addressing. One to be respected, one of our stature, one lower to us. So to young people, we say like tui, tui. So Sri Ramakrishna said, while going, close the door. And then mother said yes. Immediately Sri Ramakrishna could understand, oh, it was Holy Mother. Then, oh, he apologized. Oh, it was you. I thought Lakshmi. So he asked forgiveness, and then again he went to Nahabat, where Holy Mother used to stay. Again he apologized. The next morning also he apologized. The same person who never scolded Holy Mother on this occasion. It is out of love for devotees. He said, Amar Balaramer Sangsar Bheshe Jacche. That means my Balaram's household is drowning and you cannot go. Better walk. It was command from Sri Ramakrishna. Such a love for devotees. He never scolded Holy Mother, only except this one. So there, the more important thing is the devotee. My Balram's household is getting drowned and you cannot go. You better walk. So he must have said, what? Balaram's family is in such trouble and you hesitate to go. You will walk to Calcutta. Go on foot. So anyway, a palanquin came and mother went there. Okay, go ahead. And another time she went to Shampukur Bhatti also. Shampukur means another place, about 2 miles apart. Sri Ramakrishna stayed there for about 60 or 70 days before moving to Kashipur. It is like this. Balaram's house and Shampukur and Kashipur is like this. And about 3-4 miles away. Yes, go ahead.
The younger Naren used to visit the master. He was thin and dark, with pockmarks on his face. The master was very fond of him. When Patu and Manindra came to see the master, they were very young, about 10 or 11 years old. Once at the Kashipur garden during the Holi festival, a spring festival associated with Krishna, everybody had gone out to play with abir, red powder. But these two would not go.
So hope you have seen this, how they play with color. So in India, that's a color festival, Holi. Yes.
They began to fan the master, changing hands frequently. They were so young that they could not manage it. They also massaged the master's legs. The master had a cough, so his head ached and he needed constant fanning. He kept saying to them, "Go away now. Go downstairs and play with abir. Everybody has gone." But Patu said, "No, sir, we are not going. We are staying here. How can we go away and leave you?" They refused to go. The master could not check his tears. He said, "Oh, my dear, they are my Ramlala, the child Ramachandra, here to take care of me. They are mere children, but they will not leave me, even to enjoy themselves."
See, love. Love is the basis of divine life. Yes.
The meaning of the master's suffering. At the time of his illness, the master said that he wanted to eat an amalaki fruit. Durgacharan procured some after searching for 3 days without eating or sleeping.
The Durgacharan Nag Mahashaya, that his was another jewel householder devotee. He had total devotion and he took refuge at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna. His life is to be read, it's very nice life. So Durgacharan Nag. So he, to get that fruit, he searched for 3 days. He could not find anywhere. Only in one house he found 1 or 2 there. Procured some, after searching for 3 days, without eating or sleeping. Such was the devotion. Yes.
The master then asked him to eat his meal, and he himself took some rice so that the food would be prasad. I said to the master, "You are taking rice quite well. Why then should your meal consist only of farina pudding? You should eat rice rather than pudding." "No, no," he said. "I would rather eat farina during these last days of my life." It was such unbearable.
Making prasad. So Sri Ramakrishna would take a little and then would give to the devotee. After, see, like when it is taken first, it is called prasad. But for him, he would take only farina pudding. But for Durgacharan Nag, he took himself rice and then gave that prasad to Durgacharan Nag. Yes.
It was such unbearable suffering for him to eat even the farina. Every now and then he would throw it up through his nose. The master used to say, "I have been suffering for all of you. I have taken upon myself the miseries of the whole world." The master suffered because he had taken on himself the sins of Girish Ghosh.
So, it was difficult for Sri Ramakrishna to swallow anything because of throat cancer. It's most difficult. You cannot swallow anything. So Sri Ramakrishna suffered for all. Yes.
The effect of karma. Karma alone is responsible for our misery and happiness. Even the master had to suffer from the effects of karma. Once his elder brother was drinking water while he was delirious with fever. The master snatched the glass out of his hand after he had drunk just a little. The brother became angry and said, "You have stopped me from drinking water. You will also suffer likewise. You will also feel such pain in your throat." The master said, "Brother, I did not mean to injure you. You are ill. Water will harm you. That is why I have taken the glass away. Why have you then cursed me in this manner? His brother replied, weeping, I do not know, brother. These words have come from my mouth. They cannot bear fruit. At the time of his illness, the master told me, I have this ulcer in my throat because of that curse.
Okay, so this is very difficult to understand. Even this happened to Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna was the mastermind of Mahabharata. Mahabharata war happened and lots of people were killed. Even Kauravas, Duryodhana and all others were killed. So Gandhari, the mother of Duryodhana, cursed Sri Krishna. As Kaurava clan has been destroyed, similarly your clan also will be destroyed. And he took as it is. Sukhe dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo. One should take everything as in its own stride. And not only that, Sri Krishna also was killed by a hunter. At the end of his life, he was dangling his feet and playing some flute or something like that. He's dangling. So a hunter thought it is a deer. So he threw arrow, and because of that, Sri Krishna left his body. And Yadukul also got destroyed. Like what happened? It's a long story, all big stories. They were playing pranks. So a sage came. So one pretended that a boy became like dressed as a woman and holding some iron, and said, "Oh dear sir, please tell what will she deliver?" And a sage thought they were insulting him. So he cursed that whatever comes out of it, that will destroy your family, your clan. So now what to do? Then they rubbed it and made it green like a very small pieces. But out of that came a like elephant grass, something like that. And the whole clan, Yadu clan, they fought with that and killed each other. So all these curse, for us it is curse. What is not favorable to us, it is curse. But God takes it as it is. Nothing happens in vacuum. Say, if I remove air from here, another amount of air will come and occupy this. So they are like flowing. They are not bound. We have liking, disliking. They don't have like that. For them, it is like this. If you see earth from outside, what will you see? One earth. But here so many things are going on. People are fighting war, and this is Mr. Putin, and this is Hamas, this and that. So people try to figure out that, oh, he's the enemy, kill him. But for God, God has become everything. So even curse or blessing, both are same to him. Similarly, this is all Leela. Leela means divine play. So divine play, all the differences may be there. It is like this. A person writes a story. On that story, a play was enacted. So a villain will be there, a hero will be there, they'll be fighting, and ultimately hero will win. So who is winning? It's writer. Writer is the villain, writer is the hero also. Both are actually his imagination. So the divine incarnation, they see from that standpoint that everything is me and me alone. There are no differences. So this happened. So effect of karma. So, when you are playing in a playing field, you have to obey the rules. If you are playing soccer, you have to obey the soccer rules. So Sri Ramakrishna came to enact in this world, so he has to obey the rules there. So anyway, so karma, see here, is it that his prarabdha karma was being fructified? We have three kinds of karma. One is sanchita karma. Sanchita means accumulated. Like we have bank balance. Whatever we earn, we keep in the bank, right? So sanchita. Sanchita means accumulated. Then prarabdha karma. Whatever is being transacted now, this body, this, all the amenities that we have, it is because of prarabdha karma. It's like current business account. So you have to run a business, you have to invest. So that's called prarabdha karma. And third is kriyaman karma. That means whatever I'm doing now, that will accrue a fruit that will be accumulated later. So sanchita karma, prarabdha karma, and kriyaman karma. So is it that whatever an incarnation does, is it because of their sanchita or prarabdha karma? No. Then how it happens? It happens because they are playing in this field. They have to obey the rules of that particular game. So to show that, they'll undergo suffering also without being tainted by it. But what happens to us? We suffer. Oh my God, I'm suffering from this and that, this disease, that disease, old age. For us, we suffer. For him, it is only a play. That's why divine play. So it is not because of their karma, karma phala, not fruit of their actions. They want to play, so they, like it is an artist, drama. So in drama, he knows that he is not this beggar, but he plays like a beggar. So like that. Okay, it's time to stop.
Swamiji, I have a question.
Yes.
If you have time to answer.
Please go ahead.
Is Sri Ramakrishna, Lord Krishna reborn?
Yeah, he himself said, he who was Rama, he who was Krishna, is now Ramakrishna in this place. Here, ekhane. In Kashipur Garden House, barely 2-3 days before his passing away, Narendranath entered in his room and mentally he thought this: I'll believe that he is an incarnation if he tells me now. So Sri Ramakrishna immediately said, still you are harboring doubt? He who was Rama, he who was Krishna, is now Ramakrishna here in this body. So not only Krishna, he is embodiment of Rama and Krishna both.
And Swamiji, then what about Radha?
Yeah, in his life, if you see, he practiced not only Radha. He practiced as Radha for Krishna. He practiced as Sita for Rama. He practiced Christianity, he practiced Islam, he practiced even being a Hanuman. He used to leap, and he also had a something like tying like his tail, and a little tail also came up. It's a wonderful life. You read Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. The whole thing. Once our Swami, one of our Swami says, okay, come. After long a few years, you have come back. So he said, okay, let me first go to Hanuman temple. And then he entered Sri Ramakrishna temple. So he asked, you said Hanuman temple? He said the same thing, because he also practiced as Hanuman, spiritual practice. So Sri Ramakrishna did a lot. Whatever Indians have done for 5,000 years, he did in a small span of 12 years.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's why we need to read his life.
Yes.
And not only that, and ultimately he also practiced Advaita. That means non-dualistic. And he had that Nirvikalpa Samadhi.
Okay. So what? So was Ma Sharada? What? How? Whose incarnation is she?
Mother is, as Ramakrishna said, he's Saraswati. And but not only Saraswati, his mother, she's Mother Kali also. When Sri Ramakrishna was asked by his mother, how you look upon me? Sri Ramakrishna, without hesitating, he said, he who is my Ishta, and I worship as Bhavatarini, who is in the temple. Same mother gave me birth, who lives in Nahabat now. That means his physical mother. And same mother is now serving me. So Sri Ramakrishna saw him as Mother Kali. Also, remember that Shodashi Puja. During Shodashi Puja, Sri Ramakrishna worshipped her as Divine Mother, and then offered his Japamala, that means rosary, and all the fruits that he accrued or acquired during his sadhana. Everything he offered to Sri Sarada Devi. And Sri Sarada Devi accepted them all. Can you think? Say about how many? 17, 18 years, say 53 and 36. 4, 7, 17 years younger. And Indian condition. She accepted all the fruits of his sadhana without a hesitation. Though she was very shy that time, but she sat down there majestically. Is she ordinary? Is not ordinary. When Sharadananda Maharaj was asked, we know Sri Ramakrishna used to go to Samadhi off and on, but who was Holy Mother? Then when he was asked 2-3 times, then he replied, do you think that an incarnation will marry a Ghutukuranir May, that means rag picker's daughter? So naturally, you may appreciate that Holy Mother was not ordinary, the Divine Mother in that form. So we see both Ramakrishna and Holy Mother, the same reality, obverse and reverse of the same coin. And Holy Mother also said, don't separate us. It happened with Swami Virijanandji Maharaj. he had that doubt. Though Birijananji Maharaj was there in Calcutta when Sri Ramakrishna was alive, but he never saw him. So it was a great sorrow for him. And he expressed to mother, Mother, though I was there when Sri Ramakrishna was there, but I could not see him. And this is my great distress. He said few times. And then mother opened her veil that you are seeing him. Your Guruji has told that. Ritaji?
Yes. Yes, Swamiji. Yes, yes. Thank you. Yes, yes. No, I
Okay.
meant was Ma Sharada, Sita
Sita,
incarnate?
Radha. You see,
Ra-
like we have different names and forms. The reality is one. Neha nanasti kinchana. Here there are not many. The other day, someone asked me, what is this Lakshmi? I said, same Divine Mother, when she is the deity of prosperity, we call her Lakshmi. Same Divine Mother, when she's in charge of learning, we call her Saraswati. So same Divine Mother came in so many forms. Even in Chandi, you can find so many forms was taken by the Divine Mother. Durga, Kali, and Saraswati, Chamunda, all various forms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we see our prayer.
Yeah, thank you,
Akshay,
Swamiji. Thank you.
Akshay, anything?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
How can we be free from jealousy and selfishness?
Okay. Jealousy and selfishness comes how? As just now I read from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. It comes from ignorance. What is that ignorance? I am separate than you. So that ignorance gives rise to egoism. I am separate, you are separate. But if you can see God in every being, then you'll not feel jealous, not feel hatred for anybody. So this is sadhana. It will not happen all of a sudden. Aneka janma samsiddha tato yati param gatim. So everything happens in course of time. So knowing this, that God resides in all being, therefore not to harbor any malice, any hatred. So thinking this way, so either from devotee's perspective, that God resides in all being, or from Jnani's perspective, that it is me who is in the other form. So if I hate someone else, I'm hating myself. That is why we are taught that not to hate others. Because if you hate others, actually you are burnt first. You are hating yourself first. So immediately that fruit will be there. That is why, in India, lots of atrocities were perpetuated. But India is still surviving. And those who made us suffer, they have vanished. Can you see this? So this is a theory. And Swamiji said that if survival of the fittest is the rule, then India is the most strong. Though it had to suffer a lot. But because of that suffering, they cultivated resilience. And because of that, they survived. Not only survived, now it is thriving. So, 2 points. One is seeing God in everybody. That's reality. Or seeing yourself in everyone. Therefore, you should not hate others. Right?
Thank you.
Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. See, this session, we are cultivating the mother, Thakur, all the devotees, all the qualities, good qualities. So this way, gradually it comes and, it is absorbed by us. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Jai Ma.
Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste.
Pranam,
Namaste.
Swamiji.
Hope you're
Thank you.
well.
Thank you. Next, now we'll start our Christmas holiday. So from next Thursday, no class. And you can enjoy the holidays. Thank you.
Namaste,
Thank you and
Swamiji.
Pranam.
Namaste, Ma.
Namaste.
Thank you, Swamiji. Enjoy the holidays too.
Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste. Hari Om.
Mm.